Hey everybody, welcome to the Burton Beat. We're here today with Analisa
Baumgart.
Analisa Baumgart.
Analisa Baum. Okay, all right. Analisa
Yeah.
Baumgart. Okay. I'm your host, Jeff Evans. We've got the Burton Raccoon here, Mark Morin, and Travis over there. He's also a co-host. He sits
Way down there now.
Yeah, way down there. But we wanted to make sure that Analisa was, more, so she wasn't on the outside.
Front and center.
So, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, Analisa?
Yeah, well, I'm 18 years old and I'm from Flushing, and I'm a multi-instrumentalist singer-songwriter. And I've been in the business for 2 years, playing in Swartz Creek and Saginaw, Grand Blanc, Swartz Creek. So I've been around a little bit, and yeah, I'm just really happy to be here. So thank you.
Right on. Yeah, no problem. Are you? Did you graduate from Flushing?
Well, I dropped out, but to pursue my dreams.
Okay.
And yeah, that's how I wrote my story.
All right. You don't take me as the kind of person that would drop out. Like you just seem
Yeah.
like you're straight A. Like was that the case, or did you get good grades? Or
Yeah, up until I was about 8 years old, school was like another home to me, and then I developed a bit of anxiety, and so it just wasn't the ideal learning environment for me.
Okay.
But I still try to educate myself, and I try to learn new things whenever I can. So.
Right on. Now, what age would you say that like music started like hitting in for you?
Well, I was probably 2 or 3 years old, and I loved Wallace and Gromit, and I started playing it on my grandma's upright piano. And then when I was 5 years old, my parents got me into piano lessons, and from ages 5 to 12, I was classically trained by Anthony Mori and Chris Morse, and they were both wonderful teachers, and I'm very grateful to have had them in my life, and I know I wouldn't be the musician I am today without them.
That's great. That's great.
So you're a multi-instrumentalist.
A little
I
bit,
know,
yeah.
I've seen you also play guitar. Like what?
What all instruments do you play?
Oh gosh, let's see if I remember. So I'm not like great at them all, but of course piano and guitar, ukulele, a little bit of mandolin, a little bit of banjo, a little bit of harmonica, a little bit of bongos, a little bit of lap steel. Just got a theremin and learned a little bit of the Beach Boys on the theremin. So and then there's another one that I don't remember. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Give me a second
So
here.
she's a female version of Prince.
Yeah. Okay. No. Okay. I know some of the words that you said.
What's a theremin?
Yeah. What's a
a
theremin?
Oh, it's a wonderful musical instrument where you play the air like this. Like here, you've got the volume. Yeah, it's very cool. But you're like
See,
playing
Travis
the air.
So you're playing with air.
Yes, basically. Yeah,
Did you
it's
ever see the thing with the two? It's got two uprights, like little
Yeah.
metal poles.
Like one of those Jacob Ladders thing with the electricity comes across.
Somewhat like that. But
Well.
there is like a signal that goes across, and you play in the air. You just move your hands between it.
You know what? That sounds like the
So-
perfect instrument for me,
Yeah.
playing with air. That seems like.
It's better than.
And
air
now I
guitar.
can do it for everybody in front of me.
Well, you play.
I moved from air guitar to the
Theraflu.
You
Theraflu.
have a guitar. Theraflu. Theraflu.
Now, what was the other instrument you said? Lapras?
lap steel.
Lap steel.
Lap steel. Okay, what's
Gotta know what that is.
Okay, because I was like, you said Pokemon, and I didn't. Yeah.
Steel guitar.
Oh, steel guitar.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, and you have like
It's on the
a
left.
roll of coins that you go across with it. Is that what the?
Full of coins.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a slide.
It's a slide.
Yeah.
It's a metal slide.
Okay, all right. I used to do
Don't let
metal
it-
slides down when I was a
Probably could
kid.
use a roll of coins.
Yeah.
Don't let him fool you. He's a musician also.
Well, for the people who are listening who don't know these words,
Right. Yes.
they
Yeah.
can get familiar with Theraflu and Lapras.
Theraflu.
Mark's been
Labyrinth. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I've been wanting to learn the banjo.
Yeah, he
He
has.
plays
Oh,
guitars.
nice. Nice.
Banjo, I don't know. I played it once, but
Mark, I want to see you play a 12-string though.
12-string guitar.
Yes.
That wouldn't be that bad.
I could probably do a one string.
That video I sent you yesterday. The
Yeah.
one string on a board.
Yeah, one string and pretty much just a rubber band. All right, Annalisa, who are your musical inspirations growing up, and how would you say they shaped you today?
Oh, growing up, I just listened to a lot of pop music, But once I started to get to about 13 or 14, that's when I started listening to the Beatles. And I'd say most recently, about 16 or 17, I started really getting into soul. And, well, my favorite band since I was 15 has been the Beach Boys. And I love them so much. I got to see them on Brian's last tour, Brian Wilson, the lead singer. And they really changed my life because they made me see songwriting in a whole new light. Because they were so much more than just the surf songs, because Brian was a masterful songwriter. I mean, he is a masterful songwriter. And I think I took a lot of inspiration from the fact that they were just able to step out of line while staying in line, and they had something for everyone, and they told wonderful stories. And I noticed that a lot in soul as well. And even if they weren't telling the most, like, interesting story, they could tell it well. And you could hear that soul. So artists like Labby Sifri and let's see, Stevie Wonder, Irma Thomas, and then of course like we have the girl groups and stuff like the Ronettes and the Supremes.
Right.
So I'd say I'm really influenced by older music, and also artists like the Mamas and the Papas who really revolutionized cover songs.
Right.
So yeah, I would say
You have an old soul.
yes, absolutely.
Soul.
My expertise is in R&B and Motown. So that's specifically and classical or classic rock and a little bit of hard
We have
rock.
expertise.
Yeah, expertise.
I mean, we have them. We have them.
We have some, yeah.
And making up songs off the top of his head too.
But anyways, it's funny. I'm gonna be controversial, and I know this is gonna be awful because you've got Travis over there who absolutely loves the Beach Boys as well. I can't stand the Beach Boys.
I mostly went for my wife. Okay, when we watched them
You
last
say that.
year.
I know you say that. You say that to people, but we know.
I seen him live
Like with
too.
the hat.
Yeah. Why did you get the Maxine Beach Boy boxers? Like you know there's a reason. You can't just say, "Oh, I went for my wife and wear their clothes."
To wear it on the beach.
Oh, to wear it on the beach. Okay.
Okay.
But no.
Yeah.
So we're the boys. No. So all right. And here's the reason why I'm going to be controversial, because I'm not just saying it to be saying it. I cannot. I'm not a big fan of them because of them. We have. I will say the music that we have today, as far as sampling and using other people's songs, I would say a lot contributes to the Beach Boys, because they obviously clearly they ripped off Chuck Berry.
Yeah.
And obviously they got sued for it. But the only thing is all of their songs mostly sound the same. And actually, they have songs that are the same with different lyrics, which I find to be lazy. And even as they were going into their process before they, had their Rocky part, he's like, "Oh, I don't need to be there. I'll just, you can just play with this machine and make music," which I find to be very lazy and stuff like that. That's why I don't like the Beach Boys.
Don't worry, Jeff's controversial.
I am extremely
He
controversial.
also has a problem with Jelly Roll, but we won't
I
go
do.
there.
Yeah,
But,
we won't
yeah.
go there. We won't go there.
I would recommend watching Love and Mercy because it's the Brian Wilson biopic, and it shows that he was under a lot of control. And he was basically forced to write songs sometimes, and it's kind of a tragic story, but it's why he's one of the people I look up to. And yes, I absolutely do agree that they have taken songs. And for example, if you listen to Forever off the album Sunflower, you will hear that Brian Wilson's Love and Mercy is very similar to his brother Dennis Wilson's Forever. But I think it was a beautiful homage to his late brother. Well, I actually don't know if Dennis had passed away at that time, but at any rate, it was very beautiful that he incorporated the same chords in a completely different style, because there are only so many chords and so many ways to play them, and they're two very different songs, but they say such different things, and they're both beautiful. So I would definitely recommend Love and Mercy, and with Paul Dano and John Cusack, and I think that it really helps put things into perspective, the process with Mike Love and Brian Wilson and all the different dynamics, but really Brian Wilson is at the front and center there, so it explains a lot for people who might not know.
And I love, what I think I like most about you, Analisa, is the fact that you were able to back your story up rather than like, they're good. All right, because most of the time I'll bring that up like, Jeff, you're stupid. Beach Boys are very popular. Yeah, so it was Milli Vanilli. Like, what is, so...
Have you seen the original Milli Vanilli?
Are
though?
you
The
are you
singer?
really backing up Milli Vanilli right now?
I'm backing
Are
up,
you backing up Milli Vanilli
I'm
right
backing up the original singers from them.
now? I bet they're pissed though at like TikTok and just seeing all these people get famous lip syncing.
Yeah.
But no,
Exactly.
I do appreciate you backing up you Beach Boys, and I'm glad that and your knowledge of soul really. I really enjoyed that too because obviously, like I said, that's a lot of my background as well. My favorite singer of all time is Sam Cooke, and my favorite group, Temptations. So that is kind of and also I guess Etta James probably in there as well. But that's kind
And
of
he
like.
sings it very well too.
Thank you.
Not Etta James, but
And listen, my voice is high enough. I can do that.
I am not.
I was just gonna say he's gonna go there.
Yeah,
I personally like when he sings Queen. But.
Yeah. No. I do like Queen. So now your songs. Do you do? Are you a cover song artist? Do you have your own originals? What is your song repertoire?
So when I live perform, it's almost 100% covers, because I've been in the process of recording some of my music for a couple of years, and I just really want to keep those songs close and personal to me. But every now and again, I'll bring out an original and play it. I played, I think, 3 originals last week.
Okay.
1 at Scratch Barbecue, and 2 at Barley and Vine.
Nice.
So
Scratch Barbecue, delicious.
absolutely.
At first, she said that. I thought that was the name of the song, and I'm like, I want to listen to Scratch Barbecue
That
right
would be-
now.
That would be a good soul song. Though.
That would.
it'd be good, but no, that's a restaurant.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I
Scratch
get
Barbecue.
that.
Very
I get that. Yeah, no, I never. So have you? Because I know, just while we're on that same barbecue spectrum, Slow Bones out in Frankenmuth, they also have musicians that come out there
nice.
and play and stuff like that. You should look into that.
Actually,
I
the
will for
artist
sure.
that you sing live plays out there. Larry.
Oh, Larry McRae. Okay,
he plays out
I
there.
was like, you're gonna have to slim that
yeah.
down a little
see
bit.
live at
We
the
have a
Burton Beat
music
Festival.
podcast. How many people?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to narrow that
Where
down.
am I
Yeah,
again?
at the Rock and Blues Festival when he played
Oh,
there.
Larry.
Right
yeah.
Larry McRae, he's all over the Slow Bones.
So you have 3 original songs that you've written. Do you have more or okay? So you do have more.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have many.
How many songs would you say you have?
As ones that are actually good. I'm gonna say maybe.
Being honest.
That are actually good.
Oh, we just had a spit take almost.
Don't do that.
Maybe like 20 or 25 good ones.
Okay.
But like
Nice.
counting the ones I wrote when I was like 7 and 8 years old, probably over 100. But we're not counting those.
Right,
So
yeah.
like
'cause
20 or 25.
there's only
yeah.
so many ways you could sing "Itsy Bitsy Spider" in a different tone. Like
Right.
how that I think you could probably make it soul. I think "Itsy Bitsy Spider" songs.
So what's your process? Like lyrics, melody, or do you have a beat, or?
It really depends on the song. I've actually heard melodies and like lyrics in my sleep before. So oftentimes it's before I go to sleep or when I wake up. There'll be something on my mind, and then I'll just put music to it. So that's kind of my process. Yeah.
That's funny.
I wake up like that sometimes, but
It's funny you say that. I am severely ADHD. Not nearly as much as my mom, but I suffer with it. I say suffer because it's awful.
You throw your mom
But
under the bus.
dude, no, you gotta know.
we both.
I come through it.
We both suffer
honestly.
from it.
But so if I struggle with an issue before I go to sleep, the whole time I'm sleeping, like I'm trying to figure out the problem and stuff like that. So like when I wake up, I either come up with a design or something like that. So my creative process happens a lot when I'm sleeping. But on a side note, I think I might have a tumor because not really, not really. It's benign. No,
This is
because
fatty tissue.
I'll be in my room, and I'll hear music playing just out of nowhere, and I'm trying to figure out what. And sometimes it's people talking, sometimes
gas
it's
leak.
music. It is not a gas leak. No,
That's a gas leak.
No, that's what my fiance calls me. No, so
What's up?
no, so I figured out that it only happens when my fan is on. So, and I found out that it's an actual not a disease. It's a experience, like a effect, some sort of effect that your brain is trying to figure out the tones and hums and stuff like that of something. So it incorporates something. So this whole time, my brain's trying to get me through life, but I'm going crazy thinking there's music around me. So. But yeah, anyways, that was a nice side note.
I was like, where is he going?
No, I know. I
Took the long walk on the house.
yeah, I did.
We gotta figure it out though.
Yeah, we got there.
Yeah,
it comes
okay.
full circle.
It'll make sense eventually.
Yeah. So it's now you were talking about your performances and stuff like that. What was your first performance?
What was my first performance? Piano recital at 9. I was 9 years old. I think it was at St. Robert's. And I think I played the Blue Danube and the song called Flying Leaves. So yeah, that was my first performance. I was 9
Blue
years old.
Danube?
Yes.
Got me on that one.
That sounds like a
That's
gamer
sweet.
tag.
Is that Swedish or something?
Blue, it sounds French, I think.
Oh, okay.
It's Debussy. I think it's French. Yes, it is French because I think I did a slideshow on him in French class. So
Nice.
yes, it is French.
Now, were these just like piano recital? Like, okay, so when was your first performance like actual like singing?
Oh, singing. Oh, well, I was 11 and it was another piano recital.
Oh, right on.
And
More
I-
piano recital.
I sang "Take It to the Limit" by the Eagles.
Very
There you
nice.
go.
That is a nice song choice.
So, what's your favorite venue to play at, like right now?
Oh, I think I love all of them. They all have something great to offer and a lot of camaraderie. I mean, I've made so many friends. I will say the one I've frequented most, because I've been going to them since I was 17, is Barley and Vine, and I have just a wonderful support
I
system.
know where it's
there.
at, but I've never been there.
They're wonderful.
But
They're
I
wonderful.
know exactly.
It comes a
where
lot
it's at.
up on my feed, but I never actually like. Oh, I want to go there. Like I see it a lot, but yeah.
Isn't it like a wine bar?
Well, Vine
Yeah. Obviously.
and barley is
Obviously, you're right. Okay, never mind.
beer and wine, Mark. But so yeah.
Shut up. So, yeah.
So as far as your performances, I did a little research. I love your voice, by the way.
Thank you.
It is quite beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Your performances,
I
they
agree.
are known for their emotional resonance. How do you channel personal experiences into your music?
That's a beautiful question. I'm going to be completely honest. When I'm performing live, I try to detach the emotional part of it so I can really try to feel the joy of the other people around me.
Okay.
It helps ground me a lot, especially when I'm playing a more emotional song. I think I just try to focus on what I'm playing. And there is kind of a dissociative element, I feel, because every time I get up there, I'm very, very nervous. But the music is what calms me down. It's what keeps me grounded. So
what you would say is you take an empathic approach.
yes, absolutely.
All right. So you
Okay.
basically you enter, you feel, and you take that in and you play it. That's what a lot of Richie Valens was a good example of that. He would go into places. Obviously, being Latino, it was really difficult, especially in the times that they were.
Yeah.
But he would enter, and he would already have a set of what he wanted to do, but he would feel the audience and play to them, and obviously that's why they loved him and kept him playing. So I totally understand that, and I appreciate that. What were you going to say, Mark?
So you already expressed your love of horror
Yes.
and your love for Art the Clown.
Yes.
How did you get involved with Rotten Manor and the Tragic Magic Show?
I played at
Which
Tenacity.
I think that was awesome, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I was 16 years old and I was at Tenacity, and I played with Cam Wynn, who has been on the show before, and I met Zeb Brown, and he was like, yeah, if I ever need anybody who's like a really heartfelt pianist or vocalist, I'll call you. And then there was an act that unfortunately had to drop out of Rotten Manor, and so he asked, can you do this? And I was like, I love horror. I love to perform. I'll be there. And it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Because I know Travis has been there too. Haven't you set things up before?
I did.
He's driven by several times.
I did a.
With the Rotten Manor?
We did like a marketplace.
Yeah,
thing
the
there
marketplace.
before,
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
I've gone there. I really like that. I don't. I mean, I love horror. Like, absolutely love horror, and I love going to haunted things. But like for me, like I'm already anticipating it to happen, so like I don't get scared. Now, if I go somewhere and someone scares me, that's a different story. But like if I'm going somewhere, typically knowing that everything is fake and it's going to scare me, I'm not scared. But I do. I love horror and horror movies. This guy, he that's all he talks about. He's in love with art. In fact, I believe didn't you like fake ship yourself with art at one point? You had that fan fiction that you used to write.
No,
No,
no.
that would be. I can see it though. I appreciate you for who you are.
No, I love horror, so that's
Have you looked into the horror collective that we have in Flint?
I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
What?
We have a horror collective in Flint. It takes place at the farmers market a lot.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Flint farmers market. to be
Actually,
more
friends of ours are
specific.
involved in it.
Yep. Todd Gilbert, I believe, was also
Involved in it.
involved in it.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Jumping into that, let me just go ahead and circle back to it.
Well, I got a question about that.
about horror.
About Todd.
All right, let me, because I want to,
Yeah.
okay, get into that. I don't want to just like jump around.
Right.
So, for collaborations, have you collaborated with any other artists, musicians, and like have the experiences influenced your work?
Yeah, as for live performances, really, Tenacity, when Cam was playing drums, and then, I don't think I've ever done any other live collaborations, though I have, played with the Root Brothers, but, like, I brought my guitar and stuff, so, yeah, the Root Brothers were also on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know them very well.
So we've played together before, but not, like, the same song or anything.
Okay.
Never,
Right.
yeah. But, I was going to perform a song with Todd Gilbert, who recently passed away, and he was my producer at Impulsive Productions. We were going to sing Who Believes in Angels by Brandy Carlisle and Elton John. And we were possibly going to play it at Scratch Barbecue and Catering, and so on my last set list, in loving memory, of course, I played that. But I was going to play that, and on August 2nd, we're having a tribute show
Awesome.
at the Flint Local at 7 p.m., I do believe. But
Okay.
I'm going to be one of the opening acts because that was supposed to be for his tour. He had a tour called the Now or Never Tour, and that was his first location. And me and this artist named Becky Coggins were going to open for him, and we're still the openers, but now it is a tribute show.
Now,
Yeah, that was
for those who don't know, who are listening and stuff like that, who
Yeah.
Todd Gilbert is, can you explain to us who Todd Gilbert was and who he was to you, and like your connection with him, I guess, and just give a little bit more explanation on who he was.
and how did you guys meet?
Yeah, that's a good
absolutely.
question.
Yeah.
So, my dad and Todd and like our family really, they go way back, and
Oh.
it was, I started doing studio work at 16 with a place called Rockstars, which unfortunately closed, but my goodness, I made some of the best friends in my life there. And when that closed and we were looking for more opportunities, I also recorded at Reel to Reel with Marshall Block. It was a really long drive, so we were just trying to find some kind of middle ground. And then Todd reached out to my dad, and he was like, hey, I would love to get a studio up and running. And we were able to help him because, you know, we had some equipment, and so we helped with that. And then I started recording with him, and he was so fast and so good at what he did, and if you could tell him what you wanted, he could do it just like that. And he was just a wonderful person, and he had the best laugh in the world, and he was a great friend as well as a great producer, and I will never forget him showing me vinyls, and we never got the chance to sing the song live, but he turned on the documentary of Elton John and Brandy Carlisle. Well, it wasn't. It was kind of a documentary, but it was like their concert, and we were just kind of singing along a little bit to the film. So
nice.
we have a lot of I only knew him personally for a few months, but he had a big impact on me, and I will never ever forget him, and I will never stop honoring him as long as I live.
What would you
He
say?
was a very talented artist.
Very
Yeah.
talented, very
Like
talented.
I had him on my previous show, like 9 years ago. That's how I met him, and the first time that I seen him, like he had an acoustic. It was just an acoustic set, and he played Iron Maiden on his acoustic, and it just blew my mind. Like I was like, okay, this guy is really talented. And then we started like seeing him at Crown Royal Bar and stuff like that, and watching his shows and like how he could play the piano and just drums. It's just, he was an artist that, as far as locally, that I looked up to.
Yeah. How would you say that he impacted your life? Like how, because you talk about just knowing him and stuff like that. How do you think it? I guess I should say not so much impacted, but how do you think? Because you said that you learned a lot from him. Can you explain like what? How do you think it changed the way you look at things, or what is?
Well, it's really sad to say that at his funeral a lot of things were put into perspective by people who were close to him, but it really helped me understand that he was just so himself, and he had such an identity, and when he wanted something, he went for it. It inspired me so much, because whether or not we know it, all of us are filled with some sort of self-doubt, and he has been one of the prime examples in my life of overcoming that. So that really inspired me, and it really moved me, and thanks to him, I'm going to keep doing what I love.
That's good. That's great. That's a great
That's
takeaway
great.
too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it was me, Travis, and Colin. Actually, well, I don't know if you actually talked to him at all, but we had seen Todd the weekend before he passed at Clash in the Creek 2.
It's Swartz Creek.
Yeah. And
Yeah, it was a show.
and he had his artwork up there and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was actually going to talk to him about, because Mark had mentioned at some point that having him design something for us, and I've been going back and forth about it, and I didn't, drop the hammer on it. But I was going to ask him, but I just didn't get around to it, and we were, had a lot going on. But he, just seeing him, he's always full of life, and very, like Mark was saying, very talented.
I was just gonna say that. So full of life, and a big spokesman for his for what he had, and and not to mention he also he was friends with Diamond Dallas Page, which us as wrestling fans, and with the DDP yoga, he was very active in that, and he really pushed that on, like, hey, you should try this, this will help you, and that was really good about them too.
I tried yoga once, but it just wasn't as good as ice cream. I will say.
It's just tough.
It was.
No, that's the little green alien from Star Wars.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Grogu. Yeah. No, no. Just I wanted to take something to lighten up a little bit, but he, Todd was really a great guy. He will be
and
missed.
he was a very, very I want to say, very much fan of my dancing.
At least somebody
He,
was.
he loved to see me do what I did, and he was like, I can't do what you do. I just like watching you. So,
Yeah. No,
but yeah,
all that aside, it's good to that people that come into our lives, you know, it's always good to take away something, whether it was a good experience or bad experience. It's still, I like to say, like a color in the painting of our life that, you know, if that person, you know, it may be a darker color, maybe a brighter color, all in all, your experiences with everybody, it is all a piece of who you are, and it's up to you to take away what, you know, how much you use of it in your painting. So, and that sounded like that was a very, very bright color in your painting that sounds like you've utilized very well.
Thank you. Yeah.
Some of these so-called local media companies claim to sell you a website and a digital platform. But did you know that when your agreement ends, they own your website and your digital platform? Not with In-House Media. We build and design websites, logos, and radio and TV ads, trademarks, and more. And when we're done, you own all of it. We also provide web hosting, tech support, SEO services, and so much more. When we're done, the site is yours. The trademarks are yours. Don't get your head caught in a corporate cluster. Work with somebody locally right here in Genesee County. Online at inhousemediaofficial.com. In-House Media. We're in the business of building business.
So, I have a question.
There we go.
How has your musical taste, like, over the years evolved?
the long years that you've been doing it.
The long years.
How has it changed?
13 years.
13 years.
Oh gosh. Well, I was classically trained, so I mean, I still love classical. I loved musical theater from like 13 to 14. I was listening to a lot of musicals. I really would say I've been raised on some great music. My parents have, just the best taste in music, and everybody in my family, really,
So,
my grandparents, everyone.
Do you have anybody in your family that is musical themselves?
My great-grandfather, who recently passed away, Roy Castro, was an evangelist, and he was kind of like a soul singer as well. Oh my gosh. I think I got my soul from him. And also, my family who's over here.
Hi, family.
Hi.
I love you all so much. They're all musically inclined. I get it from everybody, really, everybody. My Uncle Bob can say he's not musically inclined, but he plays guitar, and my Mimi plays piano. My mom plays guitar a little bit and sings in her church group. So they can say they're not musically inclined, but all of them are.
So this wonderful lady right here is your mom?
And that's my beautiful mother.
That is, it's funny, you walked in and you reminded me so much of the pretty lady that plays on Grey's Anatomy. The Latino woman.
I don't see it.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I know
Okay.
who exactly you're talking about. That's because
yeah, I know, your wife. Yeah,
Well, no,
you keep throwing her under the bus. Eventually you'll come out and tell us.
me like religiously.
Yeah,
so
okay.
You watch it? You watch it religiously?
not
No, your wife?
religiously. I mean, every
Yep,
once in
his
a while.
wife loves the Beach Boys, the Grey's Anatomy, all this. Not him, though, his wife. We have to let me write that down. His wife. Okay. Got that written down.
Travis is the one that likes long walks on the beach, though.
Yes, that is true.
Yes.
I like long walks off of short piers. I went through your Facebook, and you mentioned listening to your master tracks in the car with tears in your eyes.
Yeah.
What emotions were running through your moment? Or what emotions were running through
your
at the moment?
mind.
Yeah, at
Yeah.
the moment.
Yeah.
I think I had told Todd this too. I messaged him that night and I was trying to find the words, and I think I told him I wasn't listening to my songs to analyze them. I was just a girl listening to a song on the radio at that point. And it was unlike anything before because I've been working just for years, and I hadn't had a master track, and everybody's process is different.
Mm-hmm.
So this was just a new look at what my music could be. And I told him, you just played me like a trailer for what my life's going to be. And it felt like my life was a movie with a soundtrack.
That's great.
That he helped
She just
make.
wrote a song right
There she did.
She just wrote a song by
I'm just a girl in the car listening to music.
Just good at making up lyrics.
Well,
about food.
those were the options that were given to me. I just sang about them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no,
I'll tell you about it in
I
a
did
minute.
like that bar. That was really nice.
Yes, that was very well put.
So yeah, I often listen to my music and cry, but for different reasons. Mostly is because God, I wish I hit that a different way.
I thought we sounded good that day.
Well, you were listening on to a different phone than I was, but anyways,
Mark also needs hearing.
he does need hearing aids. He is getting what we'd say long in the tooth.
Shut up. They tease me because I'm the old guy on the
Yeah.
show.
Outside of music, what hobbies and interests do you have?
Glad I get to mention this.
Oh.
I'm a screenwriter, and someday I hope to be a director too.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so what? Can you explain a little bit about that?
Yes.
Yes.
I so
So
far.
excited.
I know.
love
She
it.
can't stay in her seat. She's gonna stand up.
I wrote my first feature film at 13. It was not good.
The first, it's like pancakes. The first one's not good, but then the ones after
Yep.
that.
And then
Be
most
cool with
recently.
food again.
Yeah.
Most recently, I wrote a feature length that I was actually pretty proud of. I think at 16 and 17. I have something called parosmia. It's an olfactory disorder, and I've had it for 3 years, I think. And it means that like smells and tastes are very distorted. And for that first year, I had to wear nose plugs to eat because everything was so like disgusting to me. They smelled like corpses. Like everything smelled like corpses. Or I could
Wow.
walk into a room and I would like smell the stench of blood or like burning flesh or rubber or like cheap perfume. It was so bizarre. And I wanted to write a screenplay where somebody who works with food had that disability, and so I wrote the screenplay, and it's like a comedy drama slice of life, and I'm really proud of it, and someday hopefully I'll make it into a movie. And now I'm writing a feature-length screenplay that's a horror musical. There's a musical within the horror film.
So we're gonna be like Repo.
Oh yeah, Rebuild the Genetic Opera?
Yeah.
I've never
I love
seen
Repo.
that, but
That's
love
good.
it.
Well,
That's
okay,
good.
all right,
It's
all right, all right, all right. I like the concept. The movie was trash, but so
Yeah.
The screen.
but the
was there.
screenwriting was great. I did love the music, and then was it Christine? The old woman in the musical was the same woman from Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, Sarah Brightman?
I don't quote me on it, but it's one of what I want to say was the original one.
Sarah
But
Brightman. I think.
she just hitting those notes was just it's so beautiful. Just the high notes, and then also it had some young girl in it. I can't remember who it was. It's not like it was like wait, you got your phone on you. Who was in Repo while I'm talking? But it was I love the concept for it. I don't think it was elegantly executed,
Yeah.
but the music in it was top notch. The music was great. The movie thus far was bad, but and then for some reason they made a movie
Yeah, Sarah
out of
Brightman.
it. That was Sarah Brightman. Okay, good.
Paris Hilton was in there. Okay.
Yeah, she was.
yes,
Yeah, she
yeah.
was.
Alexa Pina Vega.
Who's there was a young girl in it that
No, she's not young. Sarah Power. Rebecca Marshall.
it was the main girl. Go to IMDb. What kind of old person stuff are you doing?
I
IMDb.
just Googled it.
I know IMDb. Just go to IMDb.
I also knew Sarah Brightman thanks to my Mimi over there.
Mimi.
What's the story?
Yeah. What's the?
Maybe.
We watch musicals sometimes together, and The Phantom of the Opera was like my first musical love,
Okay.
and Les Mis as well. And Les Mis is my favorite musical now, but I used to play Music of the Night on her upright piano, and I love you so much, Mimi.
It's funny you mentioned those movies because my sister's a big Hugh Jackman fan. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I love that one.
Maybe it was
most
Alexa
of the music.
Pina.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it was.
any of the musicals I've seen him in, he's done
Yeah.
pretty good. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I love Phantom of the Opera. I grew up in. I mean, I know my music base is where I started from. I started singing in church and stuff like that. But I love musicals. I'm a big theater kid. But Phantom is probably one of my favorites. I'm not gonna say the favorite because there's so many good ones out there. But yeah, in fact I used to host karaoke here, and I've sang Music of the Night, but it's not really a karaoke song. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
A lot of the drunks didn't, but it was all about me at that
sure
point.
I was here that day.
Musical songs, like songs from musicals, probably aren't for.
You some of them are. Some of them are
Depends
fun.
on your, but the crowd.
Avenue Q has a lot of good ones for
Oh,
karaoke.
That's
Those are a little more risky.
The internet is great. That's good though. Screenplay. What did you? You didn't say what the name of your screenplay was, did you?
No.
Yeah. So what's the name of your screenplay?
Yeah, what's the name of it?
Well, I haven't really submitted it anywhere. I just signed up for Zoetrope, which I think has something to do with Francis Ford Coppola. But
That's
Okay.
isn't that Nick Cage's dad, right?
He's related to him.
Yeah,
I don't
related
think.
somehow.
Yeah, he's
I don't
related.
really
It's not his dad.
remember.
Oh, okay. All right.
my dad would know. He's the reason I'm a cinephile.
Yeah.
And
I know.
also
I
he's
know
a
who he
screenwriter.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your dad's a screenwriter?
Yeah, my dad's a screenwriter.
Where's he at?
Somewhere.
Dad.
I think he got more nervous than she did.
Yeah, I guess.
He's the one that set all this up.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I came in and she was playing.
All right. So
I was like, heck yeah.
What? So you say you have 2 in the works right now?
I have. Well, I kind of like. I mean, I've been through like 2 drafts of one of them, and then the other one I'm still in the first draft of.
Now we
Okay.
got everybody coming.
There
Oh
we
my
go.
gosh.
There we go. For the love of God,
Is this that?
can you write a horror movie that actually scares the daylights out of
Yeah.
us? Because nothing right now is scary.
Honestly, no. Her pyrosmia or whatever it is.
Parosmia?
Yeah, parosmia. That sounds awful.
I don't know.
That
if
sounds
it could be
terrifying.
rough, yeah.
I would rather cut off one of my hands than
So you're
have
saying
that.
it's like somebody that works
Because you
with
like
a
food.
cook or
I do,
something.
yeah. I used to be 500 pounds. I love food.
You wouldn't love, yeah.
Yeah, no, not. I'd probably lose a lot of weight that way. I know that. Oh, I mean, that's why you're in such good shape. But no. So, do you currently have that too, or has it like drifted away a little?
I have probably 80% of my senses back.
80%. So,
You gotta be
what had you
smelling
get
terrible.
kicked in the head by a donkey and that happened, or
I
what?
got COVID. Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah.
Oh.
I got
That's
COVID
COVID.
when I
Lord
was
have
yeah.
mercy.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'm going out tomorrow and get a COVID shot because I sure as hell don't want that. Oh my god! All right,
No,
so
you would hate to have your pancakes. taste
yeah,
like that.
my pancakes.
Or smell
So
like that.
all right,
This is the most amount of people we've had in here during
all right.
the
She
show.
asked for Dad to come in, and I've seen 8 guys come in here. So do we know who the father is? Okay.
No, we were talking about screenwriting.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
So,
yeah, can you? Okay, so she said that she gets. So you're a screenwriter.
Not professionally, no, but it was like a hobby.
Okay, so you write on screens.
Sure.
Okay. All
we
right.
got plenty of them.
Yeah, I know.
around here if you want to,
But okay, so have you what was it that you took from him? Did he push it on you like you're gonna write screens?
right?
Right screen.
obviously know what screenwriting is. Just for those who don't know.
So who makes screens?
Right. No. So it was that like your inspiration was Dad's writing a screenplay in his man hut, and and I also want a man hut to write screen or to do screen printing in. What's
It's a she shed.
she said?
She said.
She said. She
Yeah,
said.
she said.
So, what's the process there?
I used to when I would play with my stuffed animals when I was really little. I used to write little plays along with it, and when I was around 12 or so, I watched. When I was 12 years old, I watched my favorite movie of all time, Hereditary, and it inspired me to really start taking it seriously. So I started writing on Word documents. I did it wrong, and Dad taught me how to use Final Draft, and so since I was about 15, I've been writing on there. Yeah.
Now, okay, Hereditary, isn't that a horror movie?
Yes.
How old were you?
I was 12.
Oh my goodness. My daughter, my daughter would probably, she'd never come out of her bedroom, I
She
don't
doesn't
think.
seem like the type.
No,
Yeah.
I have, my daughter's a girly girl, the thunder scares her, she watches, she loves unicorns.
My stepdaughter, her favorite movie was Jeepers Creepers. And she was 12. She wore that video.
Well, look at her
out.
stepdad. No.
Jeepers Creepers.
Jeepers Creepers, indeed.
Yeah, okay.
No, so that's really cool. So taught you to do final drafts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that in screen. Why do I keep wanting to say screen printing? You're not making shirts. Screenwriting. Does that incorporate into your music, like the writing process?
Of course. Well, actually, I score my films as I'm writing them. Like, I'll
Okay.
go along and I'll start writing tracks for them and stuff. But screenwriting is really more of like a hobby. Like, the goal is, of course, to like get famous and then pay for my movie dreams as well. But
At this point, she's gonna do the whole movie.
She's
by herself.
by her acting as well, writing, playing in music,
Yeah, she's gonna.
singing.
Who's gonna hold the camera?
Yeah, her. She got a selfie stick.
Oh, so it's gonna be like, no.
Yeah.
We don't want to do Blair Witch style.
Oh no!
Found footage.
Speaking of that situation,
Some of them are pretty.
What's that? There's a horror movie. It's not really scary. It just like messed with my head, and is a fairly new, and I say new because it is in the last 10 years because it all takes place on a Skype call.
is
Oh.
it
Uninvited?
Unfriended?
Unfriended, yes.
yeah.
Unfriended.
I remember which one.
Lord have mercy. That really messed with my mind, and not so much like it was scary thinking of that scenario, but like at the end, like just there was no good feelings at the end, and I was
I don't want to answer my phone after watching one missed call, but you know.
I still
You know what messed with my mind was it wasn't really a horror movie, but it was Brain Scan.
Was it of yours?
Wait, oh,
It's about a video game.
There's nothing in here.
No, it was about a video game, and
Oh my
it actually had Edward
Was that the
Furlong
one
in
where
it.
they play the
Yeah.
arcade game and they get sucked into it? or
No,
whatever?
it was.
No,
yeah,
okay.
That's Jumanji.
No, no, no.
Put on a dress and take all the metal out of his
Not
pocket.
Jumanji.
It had Eddie Furlong in it, and he had a video computer game, and it was basically like the game came like to life
Okay.
when he would go to sleep, and he would like all these mysterious things would happen, and it was ended up being real life. It was pretty.
It sounds like a
freaky.
mixture between like Jumanji and Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah,
A little bit of
Kinda,
flatliners.
yeah.
yeah. It's Night Jumanji.
Nightmare on Elm
Night
Street, yes.
Jumanji. Yeah.
Nightmare on
Nightmare on Jumanji.
We're getting off track.
Yeah.
So, sorry.
Don't mind us. We do this a lot. Yeah.
First of all, though, thank you for all for coming.
Yes,
Holy
thank
smokes.
You get three guys together with ADHD and then
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
yeah.
and then we're hopped up on Red Bull. So,
Right.
you know.
Not me.
Travis isn't supposed to have those.
Oh, darn it! That's
Darn
the
it.
second time today. You had red dye earlier too, didn't you? I knew it.
Red 42.
I knew it.
Right forward.
So, what's your guilty pleasure song if you'd be slightly embarrassed to admit that you sing in full volume in the car?
oh.
We all have them.
Oh, well, I'm gonna
This is Barbie Girl.
Yeah, it is.
definitely Fall For You by Secondhand Serenade.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm familiar
Oh,
with
yeah.
the song.
Oh, yeah.
I like music.
Only
I am not. What kind of? Like I said.
So your musical taste is all over the place. Though.
Yeah.
Like it's more eclectic than I think ours is.
Mine's more old school. What is? Can you explain to us what that is?
The song?
The song, yeah.
The song? Oh, well, I could sing a little bit of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Guilty pleasure song. You'd be embarrassed. Come on, let's do it.
Well, you guys, it's a meme, right? Because tonight will be the night that I will fall for you. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
That's
the stuff I listened to in middle school.
All right. Get the emo hair out. All right. This is Travis back in 2002, 2003.
Yep.
No, I like that.
No, actually, I need to grow my hair out until probably 05.
still growing it out. I
He's
see.
still growing it out. He's trying. Yeah. Looking like the turtle from what's that?
Master of Disguise.
Master of Disguise.
Yeah, Dana Carvey. He looks like Dana Carvey when he shaves everything. From Master of Disguise. Yep.
So I really want a serious answer. Can I get serious with you?
Yeah.
So he takes a long pause.
Serious answer.
You're gonna build a
If
suspense.
you could be a Disney character,
Oh jeez.
what Disney character would you be?
Ariel.
Right off the bat.
Because of her voice.
The Little
No?
Mermaid is my favorite Disney movie.
Sing them songs.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I can sing part of whatever the world. Part of that.
That's her favorite movie,
Right.
though. Part of that place up there where they have feet.
Yeah. I mean, her character really does resonate with me though, because I guess I've always really related to her. Like, she wants to be where the people are, and I have to. There's this.
Say social anxiety. I also
Yes,
want to be with
yeah. Abby from Love on the Spectrum had mentioned that that's how she felt. She said, I always wanted to be where the people
That's
were.
a great show.
That is, and
It's a great show.
and that really spoke to me too. So yeah,
Nice.
I just have to take her.
I like
words.
that.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's always a relation to anxiety and never. I used to be part fish. Just once.
Just once. I was my gills.
Aquaman.
I was just gonna say Aquaman.
That's all I gotta say.
So
Okay.
in that, no, it's funny you say that because I can really like show my age because I know,
Jeff always wanted to be Snow White.
no. No,
So your age. You're 38.
my favorite Disney movie is Dumbo. So, which his name is not Dumbo, it's Jumbo Jr. Anyways, but we had Sozen on last. Oh, no, it was earlier. Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
Sozen. I'm sorry.
Sozen.
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 Anyways, so she had two like snakes going around her.
Eels?
Well, they were snakes.
Oh, okay.
They were snake skeletons around her mic.
They
and
look
she,
like the eels.
she called them Flotsam and Jetsam. So I said, "Oh, does that make you Ursula?" She looked at me like I offended her. I'm like, "No, that's the name of the eels."
Right.
Flotsam and
But then
Jetsam,
she's like, "Oh no, it's a band." I'm like, I watched Little Mermaid. Them was eels.
Actually, it is a band too.
I know, but why
Why was a whole band of fish though?
was it a whole band
In
of
the Little
fish?
Yeah,
Mermaid.
yeah.
No, I'm talking.
Under the sea.
I know, but like, I was talking about like Flotsam and Jetsam.
They were
Flotsam
part of
and
the
Jetsam.
Flotsam and Jetsam.
Flotsam and Jetsam.
Jetsam.
Do you know who came from there?
Who?
Jet hands.
The singer or the bass player from Metallica.
Oh,
Really? Wow.
I've heard of
Flotsam and
Metallica.
Jetsam. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jason Newsted.
Yes, Jason Newsted.
Juice- yeah.
Exactly.
Maybe he should be on this.
He
show.
should be.
Yes.
We're gonna have a bigger table.
We're
There's,
gonna.
there's already too many chairs up there.
Need to make your brand unforgettable? Whether it's a killer promo video, a stunning reel, or a full-scale production, KCVideo.com brings your vision to life with cinematic quality and zero stress. From concept to final cut, KC Video handles everything, so you can focus on what you do best. Ready to stand out? Visit KCVideo.com and let your story shine on screen. That's KCVideo.com, where your story becomes the main feature.
Back to Analisa. All right, I said that right?
Yes.
Awesome.
Analisa,
I get a
yes.
piece.
Annalisa.
Okay.
I get a point.
A piece of cake.
A piece of cake. That's later.
It is your birthday.
It is.
Yes.
Happy
Happy birthday, Jeff Evans.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. This is my nephew, by the way, Colin.
With the nephew like that, you don't need it.
I do not. You should see the rest of my family. Obviously, they don't show up.
Yeah.
No.
That's the one that actually loves you.
Yeah, that's the one that loves me. Yeah.
He's also our producer.
Wait,
He's also
you're getting paid?
He's also our producer.
Yeah,
Anyways.
he's our producer. What do you got coming up?
Oh, well, June 14th at S&K Hometown Pub from 8 to 11. And then I think it's June 27th. I have this all posted on my Facebook, so you can check that out. From 8 to 10 at Jack's Place in Flushing on the 27th. And then August 2nd, we're doing the tribute show at the Flint Local in loving memory of Todd Gilbert.
Right on. That's great. Now?
Go to that.
That's as far as like what you're gonna be performing and whatnot.
Yep.
What do we have planned for you?
Oh.
Like, what is in your future? I know that you've lived so many years that you just like everything's behind you.
Where,
Where's
like
where are we
5
going
years
up
down
to?
the road, where do you see yourself?
Oh, just doing what I'm doing on a larger scale.
For
Playing
like bigger people?
bigger crowds.
Bigger people.
What, can you explain that a little bit more?
Yeah, we're just.
She's gonna be interviewed, but there's gonna be
Yeah,
four
you know
people.
when they have the like they have to bring out the scale for the fat people, like, and you have to it's only a square on the floor that they have like for dogs and stuff like that.
I've never had that problem.
Well, some of us have.
Well,
Anyways. So what's yeah? Can you explain to us a little bit on that?
Yeah, I'd like to be, well, I like to say Billie Eilish levels of fame,
Mm-hmm.
but also she has these openers, Nat and Alex Wolf, had to name drop. They gave me a great platform throughout the pandemic, and they're two people I really look up to.
Who is it?
So, Nat and Alex Wolf. Well, Alex Wolf was in Hereditary. And,
I thought that name sounded
yeah,
familiar.
well,
Yeah.
him and his brother, they're like, they're in film and music, and they opened for Billie Eilish, and, you know, they've got a good deal of fame, but it's probably not such star power that it's, like, completely blinding you.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think I'd probably want to be about as famous as them, but if not, then I would just reach for the stars and go for, like, Billie Eilish level fame. And I think without her, too, I wouldn't be the songwriter I am. She's actually definitely someone I
Yeah.
failed to mention and should have mentioned.
So in
yeah.
5 years, she's gonna have a Grammy.
Well, Mimi's over there.
Maybe and Nana.
Well, she'll still be around in 5 years then.
well, don't forget about us. Yeah, don't forget about us. Give us some love when you get a Grammy.
Yeah.
Thank the Burton Beat.
Yeah. Oh, they helped us. They helped me get a Grammy. Personally, Jeff Evans. Yes, I want that in the speech. No, but
Who's this Jeff Evans?
Evans. Evans. Who's that? Jeff Fafa.
Jeff Evans.
All right. So now, what? I know. Okay. So you want to become big, not physically, but yeah. And then you want to be popular and you know, have a lot of money and big house, 5 cars. But what are the steps are we taking to get there? Like, do you plan on like your music? Like, what are we doing with your music? What are your plans with your music?
I hope to like branch out to TikTok pretty soon here. I've got a new setup at the house, so I hope to start, trying to make my name on social media.
Right on.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
there's
plenty of originals.
a lot of artists that made it.
good songs. You have enough for at least 2 albums.
There's a lot of
Exactly. Yeah.
And then another 100 that you're like, man, I don't know if I want to use those. But if you really want to crank out the albums,
Right. I mean, what was his name? The guy from American Idol, the Asian guy.
Travis would know. He watches American Idol.
Yeah.
William
Hung. Yeah.
William Hung.
If William Hung can do it, you know, you've got a chance. But
So
no.
what you need to do is sing a Ricky Martin song really bad,
Yeah.
and that's how you get popular.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do.
But no, I mean, in all honesty, okay. So definitely, I feel that working on your music, your songs, your originals, definitely get you there. Perfecting, I'd say, cover songs, but don't make them exactly like the song. You're not on to make karaoke.
Use your
songs.
own
No.
twist.
Yeah. And that's what I get on a lot of people is they just make a song and they just make it like it was,
Right.
but with their voice.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, which is fine, but like, it's not that different,
Right. Yeah.
you know. So that's
Coming from a karaoke DJ,
Yeah.
he understands like that because
Yeah.
like some people up here try to mimic, you know, the artist. But if you go up there and sing in your own style
Right.
and sound like yourself, then it's fine.
She's like in her head. That's what I do, bro.
right.
But
And a lot of similar local artists do that when they do
Yeah.
their cover songs. They but then there's
Yeah.
some there isn't. But
Yeah.
but that's how was it Selena Gomez? No, that doesn't sound right.
What?
I'm trying to think of the girl.
Where you going with
no,
this?
Where you
no.
going?
I know. Give me a second. She played. Okay, so she was a Disney star, but she played in Wicked.
Ariana Grande.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Ariana Grande.
I love Wicked.
She got found on YouTube
Yep.
singing a Whitney Houston song. So I do see that the potential is there, especially in the social media age. What do you think you have going against you?
Oh, going against me?
Because we already know what's going for you.
Oh, Dad said, yeah, he said, he's absolutely right. Thank you for blurting. He said I'm...
Who was that voice?
It came from the speakers.
God? Anyway.
Well, I am definitely a perfectionist.
Yeah.
I wanted to start my social media a while ago because my favorite filmmaker, David Lynch, passed away, and I wanted to do a cover of Twin Peaks. I was supposed to do it a long time ago.
The TV show?
Yeah, Twin Peaks. I love Twin Peaks.
Okay.
And I was going to do Laura Palmer's theme on the keyboard, and it took me like probably 3 months to get like a 59-second clip.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized I'm really going to have to put a lot of time into this. So I'm going to hopefully start working towards it.
Now,
Yeah.
I can say personally that everyone who knows me knows I am unorganized. I am not a perfectionist until it comes to my work. Then I get a little nitpicky. And before it wasn't so much that I was perfectionist as I was had a fear of failure. And that fear of failure was it would be palpitating to the point where I just didn't want to do it. I'd be like if I'd have others do it for me because like, oh no, you're not going to screw it up. Go ahead, do that. So, and I could already tell that you're a perfectionist because you said, oh, I sing 3 of my original songs, but I have like 500 written down. So I can already tell that.
That's a lot of songs.
It is a lot of songs.
Yeah.
That's more than the Beatles. She's bigger than the Beatles.
Yeah.
But no. So, what are your plans for overcoming that?
Oh, my plans for overcoming that? Probably trying to get a schedule going. Okay, I'll film this at this time, and then just posting when I feel comfortable instead of putting all this pressure on myself to just get it out there.
That sounds a lot like perfectionism.
How are you gonna overcome perfectionism?
Just do it.
Well, yeah, I should take.
Just do it.
I should take Shia
The-
LaBeouf's word.
Yes,
Yes,
just and he
do
didn't.
it.
He didn't get that from Nike at all. Yeah, no. No, but I mean that's you gotta take it from that old Western movie, The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. You gotta do it and post it, even if it's bad. And the good thing about that is you can. It's not like you're gonna put out bad work. It's that you're going to do your best, put out what you have. Don't worry about perfecting it, because people are gonna do that for you.
We're going to post our songs.
Yeah,
And they're bad.
That's true. That's true. We've already got people writing to us to stop. No.
Oh, that was just me.
Oh, okay. From different addresses. But no. So I mean, but you got to take that constructive criticism. Are you afraid of the constructive criticism?
I'd say to a degree.
Okay.
Some of it has helped guide me at my first studio, Rock Stars.
So now where's Rockstars at?
It's nowhere.
Where was it? It's nowhere, but where was it?
It was was it in Flushing? Flushing. It was in Flushing.
Okay.
And
They have stuff like that there? Oh, nice.
yeah, it was in the yeah, and our friend Tijan had said, you're like a great artist, but if I had to give you one piece of constructive criticism, it would be your work ethic. And so that really helped me, like when I started doing live performing, because at that point I wasn't really familiar with it yet. And so I try to be as professional as I can be, and I guess apparently I've taken that too far, because now I just don't talk at my shows and I just play the whole time, and then I take my break and then I play. But I mean, that has a sort of weird charm to it.
That was my question. Like, how do you connect with the audience when you're playing and off stage too?
I let the music speak for itself.
So
Okay.
that's another thing that I get on artists a lot. Is that you need some sort of buffer between sets, in between songs and stuff like that, to connect to the people, because you don't want to end up being one of those like piano players in the lobby. I mean, yeah, they're talented. What's their name? You know, they don't. You don't hear from them. They don't connect to them. So you know that connection to the audience. Damn it! I am Analisa. You're gonna know me. I guarantee you. You yell that out, someone's gonna remember you.
I will say after the show, I like to get acquainted with people. People come up to me, I
Right.
talk to them. So I feel like, and also on break and sometimes before my shows, I'll talk to people. But usually I'm the one being approached. I've made lots of friends that way. But usually I just get in there and I just do my job. But I do understand that a lot of times people try to connect with the audience. But I also have a sign with my name and I introduce myself. And so far, a lot more people than I would have ever expected already know my name. And even how to pronounce it. So
Wow, that was a shot at me. Did you see that?
No.
That's what we call a callback.
That was not my intention.
Well,
I'm
after this
sorry.
show, there's gonna be a lot of people that know your name.
Exactly. So I really like that. I really like the direction you're going. We are gonna wrap up here. Do you have any questions, Travis? Mark?
Don't think so. I think you answered most.
Yeah, we covered pretty much quite a bit.
Okay.
I just want to.
Since we have
hear that beautiful voice again.
Yeah, since we have a good crowd, do you guys have any questions for our guest? I know you don't know her, but
But darn it, you're gonna.
Did the movie start again?
Wait, we are going to see a horror film
oh,
today.
No,
Yeah.
I said if it ran over.
Yeah, no, it's totally. We're going to see one at some point. Let's put it that way.
What are you going to see?
The Philippou Brothers' new movie, Bring Her Back.
oh,
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I'm
I've
excited.
not heard of that, but it sounds interesting.
You know what song would be good in that? Is So Zen's Necromancer. You know,
Yes.
Bring her back.
Anyways, is there anything that you'd like to add?
Anything that I'd like
Yeah,
to
that
add?
you want people to know about you that we haven't discussed.
That we suck. You know.
Yeah.
Social
medias.
media, yeah, I mean, my Instagram is Analisa Unofficial. I'm a private page as of now, but I post all of my dates on there. And then I'm Analisa Baumgart on Facebook. And, well, I'm going to get my TikTok and stuff going, and I'll post about that when it's ready. So, in the meantime, I don't have anything else to share.
Okay. All right. Well, I think it's about time to listen to this angel sing. How about you?
Yeah.
All right.
Do it.
Well, thank you so much for joining the Burton Beat. Let's get this going.
Let's get it rolling.